Hey friends, I thought I would check in from Wisconsin. My name is Karina. Come to you normally from the Pacific Northwest. I usually have an introduction to my podcasts. This is definitely more of a vlog because we are not home. We left the Pacific Northwest, Seattle International Airport, otherwise known as SeaTac, yesterday morning, and arrived in Minneapolis around 3:30, 4 o'clock local time. I honestly don't know. And my mom and stepdad picked us up and brought us back to Eau Claire, where they live. And if you watch my last episode, thank you for watching and welcome back. I said I probably wouldn't have a podcast, but maybe I would do a vlog. So that's kind of what I'm thinking, is I'm going to do a few vlogs. We have a house sitter who's taking care of Herbert and Harley, the kitty cats. And then another friend of mine who I pet sitted for a week or two ago is taking care of the two horses. So first of all, what am I wearing? This is the CORRAN sweater by the Creabea, or Rebecca Clow is the knitwear designer. So it's made out of cotton. I'm not sure if I'm going to have very good show notes. So if I am able on this platform, I will try to put that on the screen somewhere. The other thing I am wearing is the Lola top. It's a tank top that has good coverage. It's a broken rib pattern, and this is also made out of cotton. It's cotton held double. And which brings me to my works in progress. So on the plane yesterday, we flew Alaska Airlines, and they have pretty good movies available on their free Wi-Fi, and I watched Wicked, which, if you haven't watched that, it has Ariana Grande as Glinda, or Glinda as she was also known, as the witch in pink. And then I can't remember the actor's name who played Elphaba, the green witch. And I am not going to use Wicked Witch and Good Witch because there is a fascinating backstory to the Wizard of Oz. And I found the story very compelling. If you haven't watched it, I hope you are able to do that. And this was only part one. It's a musical. It took me, Randy and I tried watching it a while ago, but it was a musical and it was in the evening, and neither one of us had the patience to do that. However, since I was stuck on a plane and it was like the perfect amount, it was like 2 hours and some, I don't know, 2.5 hours. It was the perfect length of the plane ride. So it was awesome to be in kind of a captive space, I guess, to watch it. And I really, really liked it. So I am knitting another Lola top. And I got quite a bit done, as you can probably imagine. So here it is as a work in progress. If you recognize these colors, these are from my float tote, which is a knitting bag that I crocheted with the Love and Stitches or Nitty Natty knit along, and I had a lot of extra yarn, so I thought I would make another Lola top. I tried it on this morning, and it's a little bit more fitted than this one, which is fine. I had to do some modifications at the end to bring it in because otherwise it was super gapey. I may have to do something to the underarms to make sure it still has the coverage that I want, but this is exactly what it looks like. So with different colors. This yarn was held double. It was a smaller weight. And this, I'm just holding it single. I did a gauge swatch, so was able to figure out what my stitch count was just holding this yarn single. And it's going to work out. I'm super happy with it. So I expect to have enough yarn for that. I may redo this lavender part. I'm not entirely sure it goes, but if I have enough yarn, I will redo this in one of the other colors in there. So we'll see. We'll see what I have. And then the lavender will be used for something else. I also have a pair of socks on that I knit. I think these are probably Hermione's everyday socks. I knit a lot of those, and this is in self-striping yarn from Freckled Whimsy. So yeah, worn, nicely worn sock, keeping my feet warm. Also want to share some progress on a couple other projects. This bag was made by my mom, very simple drawstring bag. I did not bring the pattern with me. I brought the yarn. So this is a Knit Picks yarn, and this is another Freckled Whimsy self-striping yarn that is going to be a t-shirt. So I'm doing a lot of garment knitting. I do have 2 pairs of socks on the needles, but I did not bring them because I'm kind of into the garments. So this is a bottom-up sweater. It's actually a t-shirt. So it is, so I have the ribbing done, and I'm just starting on the body, and it goes round and round and round and round in stockinette for, I want to say about 10 to 11 inches in my size. And then this kind of yoke piece and sleeves is made out of the self-striping yarn. So this is from the book Knit Happy. It's by Stephanie Lotven, who is also known as Tellybean Knits. So I think these needles are a size, US size 5. And they're not my usual Chow-Goo red lace. Which I think I did the ribbing in Chow-Goo red lace. So these are a size US size 3, so 3.25, and the US 5s are 3.75s. These needles, I think for the Lola top, I want to say they're like a US size 6 or a 4 millimeter. Yes, they are. And the ribbing is in a US size 2, 2.75 millimeter. I think the pattern called for a different size that I did not have available, but I wasn't terribly worried about it with the ribbing. So just as long as it's somewhat smaller. Those are those 2 projects. I've been a very monogamous knitter since I've been here, and just working on this Lola top. And who knows, we're here until next Thursday, and then another 3-hour plane ride on the way back to Seattle. And you know, who knows, maybe I'll have it done. So what else is on the needle? So I've been working on another bag knit made by my mom. Mom is a quilter, and I'm sitting on a bed that has at least 3 quilts on it, and she has a quilt rack over here that has 2, and then 2 over there. I'll see if I can give you a little tour here in a minute. And then a bunch of her sewing rooms on the other side of that wall behind you. And she has her big long arm machine, and has a lot of works in progress. I think she's getting ready for a quilt show, local quilt show, and we'll have like 6 quilts. So this is it's hard to see because I don't have a lot done on it, but this is the mini mock neck tank by Jessiemaed's design. So I'm working on the upper back. I have 2 strands of lace weight held double because the pattern calls for fingering weight. And I picked this yarn because I love the color. So this is just the upper back part. I am modifying it. If you've seen the pattern before, it has a lot of negative ease. I don't really like wearing stuff with a lot of negative ease, so I'm making a size or 2 larger and hoping for like a pretty good fit and pretty good coverage. We'll see what modifications that I have to make. This is hand-dyed yarn by Nativity. Oh look, an orange pencil sticking out of it. So this is one of the balls of yarn. It has like 870 yards, which I think should be plenty for this pattern. Mini mock neck tank by Jessiemaed Designs, and the needles I am using. Here's the yarn label. Look at me holding my right arm like that, out like this. So this is It's a Superwash BFL. Is the yarn that he dyes on. These needles are US 4, so 3.5 millimeter. And I did a gauge swatch and I blocked it like you're supposed to, which is unusual for me. And now that that swatch is now a coaster. So that is it for the works in progress that I brought along. So let me get those back in the bag, my carry-on bag, which is this. So can you see the horse? It's a Laurel Birch bag my mom got me for my birthday a few years ago, and I love this bag. I've had it for quite a few years. So I am going to pause this video so that I can, okay. Camera is turned around. So here are some caps for kids my mom has been knitting. This is for a donation project, so she has a whole basket full here. And then I'll turn you around slowly to this quilt rack. So here is an example of one of her quilts. And then here, I'll show you the bed. So a double wedding ring, and then this heart pattern here. And then she has this kind of blue and yellow, really sunshiny. So very nice. And then, so close your eyes if this gives you motion sickness. I'm going to walk over to this quilt rack and show you these quilts. So this is really pretty. I don't know what these patterns are. I think she buys kits. Sometimes she does scrappy projects as well. So that is the end of this vlog. I will try to catch you up on other vlogs, maybe with some photographs and other activities during this week. Take care.